right, welcome back. I have an interesting topic today. And Tom, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, but are you, and specifically us, are we seeing a trend in companies outsourcing their IT and cybersecurity? Have you been seeing that recently, and why has that been such a heavy trend recently?
Oh, it's that's a great question, Devin. It really is, and the short answer is yes, absolutely. Yep. We're seeing it. 10, 20-year-old thoughts were that IT is so critical to the company that we need our own staff. Mm-hmm. We're big enough, we can afford it, kind of.
Yeah.
But everybody's got budget concerns, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But and maybe proprietary knowledge or whatever, it's just better to do it on staff. It was even small companies would say, I need to hire an IT guy, and I would say, no, you don't. Mm-hmm. You need or gal, you need if you can't afford two, along with all of the tools that you properly need to manage that environment and monitor the environment, then it's a very expensive investment, and it's not the best that you can get. You should outsource. And now we're seeing companies doing that, and they may still have a chief information officer, or hopefully a chief information security officer should actually be in charge of that department. Another topic for another time.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But that role then is in charge of going out and finding the most efficient way to get the best IT and cybersecurity services, tools, techniques, and procedures from the people that are true pros at it, because it's hard to find quality people.
Mm-hmm. Let alone a whole team of them.
Right, exactly.
For your business, yeah.
And if you're going to use an outsourced provider like Kirkham Iron Tech, it's our job to stay up on regulations, new legislation around cybersecurity compliance. 90% of small, medium-sized businesses reported increased scrutiny from government regulators in the past year. And I will make this prediction. If you are not affected by any regulations or compliance issues, what most of you are, whether you know it or not, if you're in New York, any business that handles customer information is subject to the New York Shield Law.
Yep.
That's it. It's not just attorneys or accountants. Yeah, it's retail stores and everything. And so you may not even know that you're subject to regulations. If you have a breach, it all of a sudden becomes much more serious and perhaps fatal to your firm. And that's why companies that are really thinking, their thought leaders, their strategic vision, they realize that they can hire more consistent, high quality IT services, professional services that they know how to make things compliant.
And they view it as an investment.
Oh, that I could spend 5 minutes on that easy. But I might do that. But just 90%, that they're seeing it. And if you haven't seen it, you will.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the stats are, but every day I see a new industry having compliance regulations put in place, or they're at least talking about it. And even the ones that do it, they take that first baby step. And next year it's another step, and then next year, and I saw that everyone's familiar with HIPAA. I saw that with HIPAA over the entire course of it. They said, okay, here's our recommendation. Oh, now you got to tell us what you're doing. Oh, now you got to have this. Oh, and if you have a breach, we're going to fine first, and then
ask questions
later. Well, yeah, because they were saying, well, we don't know if we're going to fine you, but we do want to know about it so we can improve our security defense. Then they said, no, you're going to flat out get fined, and then we'll help you figure out what happened, and how to better protect your personal health information, or your patient's personal health information. So just that alone is a daunting task, and a smart chief information security officer or chief information officer, or whatever that title is in your company, their job is to make sure the overall goals of the company are aligned with the IT and cybersecurity investment. And by outsourcing, almost always you're going to get a higher level of service. You got certainly fewer headaches on the employment front. So that drives costs down, and you end up saving money because when you outsource to a service company like Kirkham Iron Tech, we've got tools that most small to medium-sized businesses still won't afford, and it makes their job harder. You know, if you've got 50 endpoints and your company has one IT guy and he doesn't have the tools that we have, then his job is he's overwhelmed with just 50 endpoints and the corresponding 3, 4, 5 servers. That's an overwhelming situation, and he's got to outsource, and it's much more efficient. You know, I'm trying to think of all of the tools that we use to manage our clients. We probably at this, it's a good 20 to 30% of our overall gross revenues. Small to medium-sized companies have no business investing that kind of money in IT and cybersecurity management. That would be crazy.
Cost just gets way too much.
So it's much better, it's more efficient, and it's more profitable to outsource most or all of these. Just put somebody in the role in your company to make sure all of the goals and objectives are aligned with the investment in cybersecurity and IT infrastructure.
Yeah. And overall, what I'm getting from this is that this trend, one, is not going anywhere. Companies are more often and looking to outsource their IT and cybersecurity. That doesn't mean they're replacing their current IT person. They're just getting support, or there's lots of different ways that they can outsource their IT or security. But overall, it comes to the simple decision from a leadership perspective that outsourcing your IT and security is a better return on your investment for IT and security as a whole. And thought leaders, and like you said, leadership in organizations are slowly coming to understand this more. And this most likely will be a trend or just the status quo for all companies, probably here in the near future.
Yeah. Your chances are you outsource some or all of your financials and tax preparation and things like that. You use an accounting firm, unless you are one, right? Okay. You know, we don't outsource our IT or our cybersecurity, but you outsource your healthcare. Okay. You outsource your plumbing. You might outsource your, your building maintenance and, the housekeeping for buildings, empty the trash cans and cleaning and all of that, because, it's more efficient. And, I really don't understand why it's taking so long for this curve to hit.
Yeah.
But that's the way you need to start thinking about it. You have to be a very large company indeed to truly justify staffing up in your own company. Now, does that mean you just need one person? No, maybe you need a couple of people. We have some clients that have a couple of people in IT, and one of them, I think, somebody's probably doing, functioning as the liaison, the security officer liaison to us. But they understand that and how it's so much more, their IT cost are probably at least a third of what they would be.
Yeah.
If they staffed it up themselves and managed it all themselves. And then you don't know, your quality is going to be inconsistent as people come and go. These days people don't get a job for life usually. They want to do other things and whatever else. That's the way things are. So if you outsource it, that starts smoothing that road out for you.
Yeah.
It takes one thing off, it takes another thing off your plate. So it's a great way to do it. In almost all cases, you'll save money and get better services.
Definitely. Well, we're going to talk about more topics like this in the near future. Make sure to tune in next time. If you have any topics that you want to hear about or any questions you want answered, feel free to let us know, and we look forward to talking to you all again.